Yo. How goes? Grinding Demons of Chaos to number 1. So far, brought them to a 53% win rate. We are 3% away from a grand victory for these demons. But only 3%. That's roughly 3 more tournaments of playing Demons of Chaos, and then we're there. More or less. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. We cannot be stopped. 53% win rate. Oh my gosh. The end is nigh. It's about 16 wins. Yeah, roughly. If I can finally win some finals, we'd be set. Well, yeah. What's up? Karavdir, Alexian, Decay, Duke Boamon. How goes? I hope the weekend has treated you well. They're currently number 6. They're currently number 6 on the ladder. They should be higher than Chaos Dwarves. I feel like they should absolutely be higher than Chaos Dwarves. Ho! Diomed, what's up? Bastion. I get Doki. Have your views on Demons of Chaos changed during this? I think I have a new appreciation for how... Also, I'm starting the tournament. I have a new appreciation for the strength of the faction in some matchups. I would unironically run Demons of Chaos in a good number of matchups now. The Goblins round 1. It begins, and we're up against Lazuka. We're up. But yeah, I have a new appreciation for where they stand. But as always, they still have a bunch of really bad matchups. You missed Eternities. Yeah, I really needed a long break. I had some stuff I needed to get to. I was feeling exhausted. But I am quite rejuvenated now. We're feeling good. But yeah. It's in my head, they're kind of like a lesser Slanesh with technically more options, but realistically fewer options, or at least fewer problems, or they have more problems despite having more options, because Slanesh solves their issues by just being an insane rush faction. Demons of Chaos can't do that. Unless there's some like hidden Fleshhound tech that I haven't discovered yet. Maybe today's the day. Who knows? Yeah, main tides. Main tides are really good versus Demons of Chaos. I do think Bloodletters change things up quite a bit. So this is against Kislev that we're facing today. I think Bloodletters change things up a lot. It's still similar to the Slanesh situation where if you can't win the melee fight, you're kind of screwed. Demons of Chaos are a pretty bad shooty faction. Do I want to play Proving Grounds? That's the big one, right? Oh, it's a janky one. Alright, let's play Proving Grounds. I'm up against Kislev to start. Yeah, so Fleshhounds did get nerfed. But like, who knows? I might be underappreciating something. Okay, let's look at the legendary. If you look at the ROR Fleshhound, so take a look, right? If you look at this guy, he has 45 melee attack, 34 melee defense, only 30 armor, and he costs 1,000 gold. Let's compare him to one of the best cav units in the game, Wing Lancers. Oh, it's showing the adamant. Regardless. He has higher base stats. Doesn't have the armor. Doesn't have the charge bonus. But he has Gore Feast. 6,000 HP is kind of rough though. Yeah, that HP loss is pretty rough. Are Fiends just always better? Dude, Fiends having 8,000 HP is crazy. It's a miracle that Chaos Demons have a unit. Whoops, showed my army. It's a miracle that they have a unit that does not insta-gib. Now, last time I lost this in the late game because of cavalry. But if I just spam Fiends, I think we win, right? I think that's the gist of it. Just yeah, just spam Fiends. Fiends, Furies. Plague drones are a little questionable versus Kislev. Last I checked though, they did decent damage versus Cav. So, you know what? I think we just bloodletter rush them. I think we do this nice and simple, okay? Bloodletter rush the Kislevites. Get the blues on anything without armor. I should be able to win a big old fight. And then we get to the late game where I spam Fiends and they hopefully don't die to Griffin Legion. Also, Ice Invader, what's up? Welcome. First Twitch message. Is that a Hades 2 emote I see in your name? Hell yeah. I'm playing so much Hades 2. It's great. Trizik, what's up? Thank you for setting up the tournament. If it was not for Trizik, I would not be hosting nearly as much as I am. All right. So the plan is simple. We walk forwards. We kill him. 1 p.m. gang. Let's see. 7 p.m. for Decay. Does that mean Decay is like... Wait. Because I gotta remember the currency that you donate. Is it... Does it end in franc or does it end in kroner? I think that's kind of the area that I'm feeling out here. I'm gonna guess kroner. I'm pretty sure it's kroner, but maybe I'm completely off. We're still trying to make Beasts of Nurgle viable? No, I gave up on that unit. Beasts of Nurgle's garbage. I don't know why people are using it. Okay, it is kroner. Then it's Czech. Wait, no, it's not Czech. It's God, not seeing the letter is really screwing me over. No, it's not Czech. Anyways, I'll remember soon enough. Good luck, have fun. So got Zinch's Firestorm. That's pretty hype. Lots of blues. He has Horse Archers, which are pretty bad versus blues. Miska, Hailstorm. Miska's pretty good versus Furies. Hailstorm, not so much versus the rest of my stuff. Yeah, Demons of Chaos are almost top 5. They're getting there. But yeah, seeing a bunch of skirmishers is a good sign. They're relatively easy to bully, Kislev that is, when they have so many skirms. Most of his shots here are being a little ineffective too. That's pretty nice. Might even be able to get some sick blue volleys. And this is an armored Kossar unit. And as someone who likes free value, give me that. Tzeentch's Firestorm costs as much as old Pit of Shades, but it does so much more damage. It's basically the screw your Danish. It was Danish. Oh my gosh. To help your old man memory.
To help your old man memory. Winking face emoji.
I was like, there's no way. There's no country called Danish land. Oh my gosh, what a fool I was. Oh my gosh, thank you so much. I had a slow morning, man. I had a rough morning. I bequeath you to cut me some slack. Unfortunately, yeah, had to make some calls and stuff. Had to wake up early. It's a little rough. Yo, are these Cossars, are we just gonna magic this guy to death? Because I will totally magic him to death if given the opportunity. He's done 20% damage in my blues. I've killed off an entire armored Cossar and most of a normal Cossar. Slack granted, thank you. That's true, no such place, yeah. Let's see, what is this? Relentless Rage. How high? Now, you never really want to push into these defensive formations. I'll happily just sit back and relax on 2-cap. As the Rush faction, we are certainly much more comfortable sitting back and relaxing. Because yes, he might steal a point. No, he's not going to be able to hold it when we actually push. So when the tickets get really close, all I really got to do is play aggressively. Secure the points. And then we're pretty happy. You know what else makes me pretty happy? More free value. This guy's gonna hate this lord by the time I'm done with him. Goodbye, Streltsy. Goodbye. You served well for the cause. Poor guy's just arrived onto the battlefield. So needless to say, that's a good amount of value. I got a Blade of Corn. Ready to bully his next. He chucks out a Miska, costs as much as Tzeentch's Firestorm, not nearly as effective. Streltsy are suffering greatly. Fiends are annihilating the thing in the woods, by the way. Just bloody annihilating. And we're generating shields. How good. Shield regen's gonna help me out a lot. I can see he's gonna push up here. Well, that just gives me an opportunity to bully him some more. So first things first, we got another pink fire there. If you're worried about the Kislev passive making them unbreakable, the solution is to just kill them. If you find yourself having problems with Kislev, you may want to consider murder. It is a rather effective strategy. Although, you know, they actually are holding a little bit. They're gonna rout soon enough, though. It doesn't matter much. There they go. There they go. Get them out of here. Pinks are being a menace. Let's get the plague drones. If I can keep trading into his cavalry, that'd be great. Kind of need that cav dead. Because we all know the late game sucks for Demons of Chaos. As good as things might seem right now, a game can absolutely go south very quickly. Okay, so that should kill them. He does have ambushers. You know what? Let's just... Papa Corn wants to say hello. Chuck it out. Goodbye, ambushers. Oh, man. This is an oppressive build. Absolutely oppressive. And this is punishing people for going way too many skirmishers against Demons of Chaos. Skirmishing is good versus Demons of Chaos. But it doesn't mean that they can't counter build you. Absolutely, they can counter build you. Yeah, ambushers just got annihilated, man. They got sword ocorned very hard. So now all I gotta do is uptrade. Whoop, a little bit of a dodge. Hailstorm on infantry, oh dang. But yeah, oh dang, those plague drones sucked. Maybe I'll swap out the plague drones, we'll see. But yeah, if he didn't have so many of those horsemen, I think he would have had a much better chance here. I don't know if they really did anything. They kind of just shot blues all day. And blues are too cheap to be worth firing at, you know? We kind of ended up with like the perfect counter build, I'm not gonna lie. Of course, the fiend charges have helped me out a lot too. But yeah, I think I'll probably just get rid of the plague drones, get more fiends. Although fiends are expensive. I don't know, man. Oh, I'm getting messages. We had a tournament drop. Yeah, I'll have to check out the plague drone value, but it just seems like fiends are better in every way. Also, pink fire is hype. Pink fire is very hype. All these lightly armored guys cost 500, so you're almost always getting a decent amount of value at least whenever you pink fire. Thought Hailstorm was a no-no in multiplayer. It's not the worst actually. Hailstorm is really good versus cavalry. It's kind of like Searing Doom. I would actually recommend Hailstorm. It's not the best. Like, it's not, I don't think it's better than Searing Doom, but it is quite comparable. Slug 'em. That'll make the charge a little bit less scary. Man, I'm getting real lucky spotting these spells, man. I'm getting very lucky spotting these spells. Unreasonably so. Yeah, I'm summoning in the plague drones. I'm like, I wish I had fiends. Then again, when do I want anything other than fiends? I would totally run an army of only fiends if I could. Hey, Esterific, what's up? We're just crushing Kislev with some Demons of Chaos. Zerevic is hype. Zerevic is so hype. His nets get you so much value. There's a triple cat. Hailstorm has a better area. Does it? He's really got to stop casting on moving targets, by the way. It's very unreliable to cast magic on moving infantry. Because if your opponent does notice it, they're just going to dodge. GG! 530. Fiends only in campaign. Dude, it would take so long to recruit. Chaos Demons versus Kislev. Chaos Demons wins. His lord got, oof, less than 400. Meanwhile, this guy's setting up for Sword of Corn. Deleted some very expensive range units. Despite that, Armored Cossars actually still got a decent amount of value. This guy, though, the Streltsy that got hit by Tzeentch's Firestorm, that was pretty good. Yeah, I think I'll update this build slightly. I think if I want something mobile that can kill Cav, Furies are kind of good enough. But I should probably Fiend max it. Excuse me. And then maybe like a Seeker. If we're really late in the game and I have tons of infantry to block charges, these guys are really cost efficient if they can get the charge off. If they don't, life is terrible. But if they do, you're pretty good. This feels like it might be slightly more efficient. You know your build is getting more efficient the more of a single unit you're taking. So if you max out on a unit, that means you figured out what works and you're taking the maximum number. It's what you wanna do. Alright, so we gotta drop some people. Some people signed up, but they didn't show. So, what do we got? Gotta drop this guy. And then gotta drop that guy. Let's see here. Just do a drop there. And then we're just gonna double check. All right. Looks like everything's good. How goes, chat? Death is the best, CC. Truly. Let's see. All right, everything's looking great. As much as I hype up Demons of Chaos up, they feel bad to play for the average player. Well, it's because you get punished for your mistakes times like a million. They're a very unforgiving faction. The only unit that can hold is Fiends. More adminning. Lots of adminning today, actually. Surprising. But yeah, I think Fiends have like the most HP on like the whole roster outside of single entities, right? Do the Fiends have more HP than Bloodletters? How does the Demons of Chaos monstrous infantry, especially the one that's supposed to be squishy, how do they have more HP than their infantry counterparts? I swear, if CA followed the same rules as they did with everything else, Fiends would totally have 6,000 HP. They only have less HP than Exalted Bloodletters. Absurd. Trying something in Skaven Slaves is also good CC. It's good CC for Slanesh, that's for sure. Factions with army build-up abilities. Oh my gosh. I love seeing Skaven Slaves as Slanesh. Against everyone else, though, it's very annoying. It's agreed. Yeah, we have over 40k subs. Very exciting. Apparently 50k is when sponsors start spamming my inbox. Very exciting. Fiend health nerf next patch. I haven't mentioned it to CA. I don't know if anyone else has. Why didn't you stream the game when Dwarves used to use the double slow? Oh, it's because I was just playing for fun. Setting up a stream and all that takes a lot of time and effort. Takes a lot of effort. So it's nice doing a tournament that is not streamed every once in a while. All right, so let's finish up the adminning. Let's go over here. And then let's actually do this real quick. Trizik, are you there? I am here to teach you how to do tourney stuff. Just gotta explain how to do it. Then you can click that too. And then here, just it back down to 1, then click save. Try it. All right, nice. Yeah, we're getting Trizik to help us do adminning. How am I doing? I'm doing great. Chaos Demons are almost top 5. They're almost top 5. Chaos Dwarves went to 55% in literally that round. Oh my gosh. All right, never mind. We got to climb 2% with Chaos Demons before we catch up. Can somebody start losing with Ogre Kingdoms? I need someone to sign up with Ogre Kingdoms and to just lose like 3 games and win 1. That's all I need. Bring them down 1%, man. They have so few losses. I honestly don't know why more people don't. I'm wondering why people don't play ogres more. It's strange. It's strange and foreign to me. They should just be they should just be chill, right? I don't know. Because people played Slanesh when Slanesh was OP, at least mostly. People definitely played Beastmen before they got nerfed. Gotta hack into CA. How far did you manage to get? Yeah, we are at 53% win rate. We need to get to 56. Most of the top factions are 55. Ogres are at a 56. We're almost there. I like ogres and I'm bad. McLagans, you gotta sign up for more tournaments. Gotta bring them down 1% without making them too low, you know? We still gotta get them nerfed. Although, there's only like a handful of really strong players that play ogres. But I think the general idea is that most people feel like ogres are a little strong. Not crazy strong, but just a smidge. Gotta find a beginner tournament when I'm not working. I think Trizik wanted to host a beginner tournament today. Don't quote me on that. I don't see any beginner tournaments today, so I got no idea. It really depends on them. But there will be more. There will be more now that I have someone actually helping me out with tournaments. Hailstorm takes twice as long to damage enemies compared to Searing Doom and cast. Dang. That explains a lot. Okay, yeah, so it's just a way longer time to damage. Because I've noticed Searing Doom drops fast. Searing Doom is like almost undodgeable. It's so fast. I didn't realize that it was like that with Hailstorm. Screwing it over. Yeah, there are a bunch of beginner tourneys, but more is not the worst. Alright, just gotta manage some drops, and then we're good. Sorry, just adminning. All right. We're waiting on a match anyway, so we got time. What spreads the damage out too wide? Are we talking Hailstorm? Does that mean Hailstorm's just a worse Searing Doom? Is it worse in every way? There's no way. See, you want to have unbalanced spells. Hailstorm, 36, 30, 40 projectiles. 36, 30, 40 projectiles, range 200. Range 200, 30 seconds. Duration 8 seconds. 33% and 100% damage. The magic is the same. Yeah, I guess it's just worse. Oh, the cooldown. Let's go. No, it's the same. Oh, I see. Is it a bigger area? I always thought the areas were the same. Is it actually a bigger area? If it is, it's very slight. It's in the hidden stats. It could be the indicator is lying to me. I see. Anyways, yeah, Hailstorm's basically worse than everywhere. Oh, unless you count the overcast. Is it the same? Is the overcast the same? I think it's basically the same. This is 10 winds of magic. This is 9 winds. Let's go. Cheaper overcast, though no one overcasts these spells. Ain't nobody does that. All right, next round soon. All right, there we go. There we go. Everything good. I think we should be good. How does slicing shards compare? Slicing shards is a weird one. It does a lot of damage. Slicing shards does way more damage, way more projectiles, but you have to make it a big kind of spread attack. So it's kind of, yeah, it's kind of weird. Also expensive. Just a smidge. But nice. Potatoes devil. Potatoes devil. Yo, yo. I'm Demons of Chaos. And what are they? Dark elves? Yet is Warriors of Chaos? Hell yeah, dude, it's been ages. Oh wait, no. Are they the Warriors of Chaos play I've been playing against? We'll see. Crystal Lake, Whirling Maelstrom, Creeping Swamp. Ban. Ban Crystal Lake. Demons of Chaos does better when the map is kind of janky. Yeah, how expensive is slicing shards? 12. 12 wins. It would be not the worst. It would actually be quite good if you couldn't dodge it. The cast time on slicing shards though is like what, a 3-5 second wind up, and then the animation. It takes bloody ages. It takes millennia. So yeah. Demons of Chaos versus Warriors of Chaos. How do I want to do this? The Warriors. Do I have a save build? Apparently not. This should be good enough though. It's Warriors of Chaos. Yeah, I see nothing wrong with this one. All right. We need a Searing Doom type spell that's a homing missile. Yeah, Doom Bolt. Hey, ZB, hello. Hello. Warhammer 3 needs more skill check spells that can be dodged, but only at high levels. But like, okay, you could, so back in the day, Pendulum and Burning Head were dodgeable if you clicked away immediately. The problem with that is that if the game is lagging, if you have a slightly bad connection, that screws up the whole system, and then they just guarantee hit. So it's a little weird. Although I would personally love a counter spell system. An ability to increase spell resist would be so hype. And then that way, it's less about doing it fast enough and more about decision making. That'd be hype. If Comet of Cassandora was homing, holy crap, that would be sick. That would be sick. Hey, one horseman. So very consistently, my build does well against horsemen. If they camp on the Forsaken, that's a different issue, but not impossible for me to deal with. Let us go. So my guys have Strider, which means they can blitz through this forest very quickly if they want to. He gets a little bit of a volley off. Interesting, it's all normal horsemen. Ha! Well, he's certainly getting a good number of volleys off. You have horse masters? He has throwing axes, okay. Can't really go wrong with an early pick though.
Keep it from the foe.
These Forsaken are being awfully passive. I don't really know how I feel about that Forsaken play. Seems like it's kind of janky. Ah, the Burning Head, okay. Doesn't really matter to me. We got him dead. It's all that really matters. Burning Head doesn't really do that much versus Coronate Furies. They are still Coronate. Whoa, Archie. So Archie's going for it, man. But can he take the heat against speed fiends? Looks like maybe. It's doing a lot of damage to my character here. Don't you dare crumble, lady. Don't you dare crumble. She's gonna crumble. Dang, usually I don't lose my caster like that. A little bit of an oopsie-doopsies. There's the flaming sword cast too. Dang. Not gonna do much for him though. And the Hellstrider charge is pretty decent on his Chaos Knights of Tzeentch. I did kind of goober it though. I think we could have played a little bit better. The damage on Archie is nice and all. Is that another flaming sword cast? This guy flaming swords. Oh, we can't lose to him now. I can't. Though we may. Value trading's getting pretty bad. I've committed quite hard here. I think we gotta disengage with our fiends real quick. Good doggy summon, actually. Okay, you know what? You kind of got me there. Killing off my caster is really bad for me. It's very bad. Getting so much damage on Archie is pretty decent. And I have a lot of mobility here. They'll be able to cook quite hard if everything goes well. There's his Chaos Knight of Tzeentch unit, super dead too. And my caster's not the most expensive unit to bring back in the world. So we'll see if we can manage something there. I'm obviously still a little skeptical. But if there's one thing we can do, it's scrap it back. Already got a lot of damage on these horsemen that I really shouldn't have. He's getting in more Hellstriders, not a big deal. We still have our fiends. Archie's low enough too where he's in killing range. If all goes well, Archaon should be pretty screwed. And there's the caster back. Not the end of the world. We still have many an infantry unit to deal with. We still have like 4 Marauder horsemen. If my opponent plays this out right, we're still screwed out of our mind. But we are not without a chance. So let's see if we can bait out some cav picks. Oh, he's playing it well though. He's playing it well. I can't really fight around his Forsaken. But if I fight away from them, it makes up for the value difference pretty decently. So that's the goal. It's a little awkward though. The Forsaken are such a pain against demons because you got no armor. That's a Hellstrider pick, probably. If he pushes forwards with his Forsaken, it's probably not a pick for me though. Just pretty bad. Will he go for it? There's the Rampage. Okay, so we got him to Rampage. And the Forsaken are miles away. They're not gonna help. They ain't gonna help at all. All right. And then maybe we get a pick on Archie here if we are lucky. So there's a Fury charge. There's them getting beat up, so no more Hellstriders, right? The doggos are pretty roughed up. He's using a lot of magic on Flaming Sword, which ain't helping him a lot. All right, now can we kill Archie? Can we kill Archie? Man, he's doing such a good job protecting him. I will have another Pavane soon. That's good. And I can probably net these guys down and then just charge them. So there's the net. And there's the murdering. So pretty solid play over there. The thing is, I still have a lot to come back. Like, I'm making good plays. These are certainly good for me. But I think I need a yet bigger play. Because there's another Chaos Knight, right? There's another Chaos Knight, oh Tzeentch. coming on in hot. But what if we do this? What if we do the impossible? And we kill Archaon where he stands? It's probably not gonna be enough. I think we already botched. I think we already botched it enough. But I'm gonna go for it. Beat him up! Beat him up! Dude, he has so many Elves Riders. Yeah, I definitely botched it fighting on the Forsaken. There's a flaming sword, and yeah, that's GG. GG, well played! Dang, that's rough. That's a rough time for Demons of Chaos. I should have just played a little bit more defensively. I should also save a build against Chaos specifically. He got the flaming sword win. All right, realistically, at least Forsaken annihilated, dude. 1400 on one Forsaken. Brutal, absolutely brutal. Hellstriders are very hard to deal with. His knights suck though. Like his knights were so garbage. It was literally just the Forsaken that were the biggest issue. Like look at how bad the cavalry did. So I think with a few adjustments we get there. Let's see here. I think the Fiends is still good. Oh, I forgot to update my win-loss. That's 1-1. If I win the rest of the games today, though, we're fine. Or I just win 2 more. No, but then I'd make it to semis, dang it. If I could win 2 more and then lose in tiebreakers, that would technically be the best for the win rate, but... Yeah, I'm noticing the Forsaken just suck to deal with. I would say... it's probably not the worst to just go for like a like that anti-Kislev build is honestly kind of stacked. This first Warriors of Chaos would actually be pretty hard for them to deal with because you got the Bloodletters for their infantry. What's this? Kerberos? Who's Kerberos?
What are we thinking about Kerberos in dock?
I've never heard of that name in my entire life. But yeah, this would actually give Warriors of Chaos a much harder time. I think we just save this one. This is fine. Let's see here. Yeah, Demons of Chaos versus Warriors of Chaos. I think the mobility build, it just doesn't really work when they have Forsaken. Karnak? Does it mean Karnak or is it one of the named demon princes? We have Caress, we got Red Olgor. We have Vanilla Demon Prince. They're just called Demon Princes. We got Zerivik. Yeah, we talking Karnak? We're talking Cerberus? Ah! Oh, yeah, okay, yeah, Karnak. Karnak is fine. He just doesn't really do what you need most of the time. But yeah. Like, Demons of Chaos doesn't need a Lord Sniper, you know? Obviously, I was trying to kill Archaon that game out of desperation. But realistically, you kind of need, like, they need good infantry. And this guy don't really kill infantry. Yeah, we got by the flaming sword. What a tragedy. Alright, there's no way. Honestly, this build is kind of hype. This Zerivik build with blues and bloodletters. This kind of cooks. It does the best versus skirmish builds. And then I don't have to worry about it. Alrighty, more adminning. Imagine Zinch Forsaken then. Magic damage, you ignore the physical resist. If no one runs Zinch Forsaken. Everybody runs Zongors because they're better. Alright, Demons of Chaos. So for each loss I get, I need to get another win. Ugh, what a tragedy. What a tragedy. I should just start running this as my default Demons of Chaos build. I'm trying to think of what beats this consistently. Because you have the blues, you have the bloodletters, so you're generally speaking gonna win the infantry fight. If they bring a lot of ranged. If they go super hard melee, you got Zerivik. And you're kind of resistant to kite. So, I don't know. Maybe this is it. Maybe we'll save this one. Zerivik's pretty chill. He's pretty chill. I could see it. I can kind of see it. Monster Mash. You do have Zerivik to cycle charge. And a bunch of blues to shoot him up. What's the best, what are the best Forsaken units? I would say Forsaken of Slanesh. The ludicrous speed make them so good. But yeah, I wish Karnak was cheaper though. So Karnak's, he doesn't have a lot of mass, so he's really good at sniping characters. He doesn't like overshoot a lot, just like something about his animations, I'm not sure what. But he's just so expensive. And it only really takes one light cavalry to shut him down. He's like a snow leopard. Yeah, that's exactly what he's like. Yeah, he's like a snow leopard, but twice the cost. Look at this. Snow leopard, right? He has 1,700 more HP. They both have physical resist. And then he does a bunch of weapon strength. Snow leopard could be better at sniping large targets. Look at that. Has AP. Has bonus versus large. Karnak doesn't have that. Okay, yeah, he can silence, I guess, in an area. That's not that good. Yeah, he's okay. But yeah, build feels okay. I think you kind of have to bring bloodletters every game. Every time I play Demons of Chaos without bloodletters, I have a hard time versus infantry. It seems. Yeah, Snow Leopard has anti-large. And it's half the cost. Almost. It's cheap, man. Super cheap. You know what's weird, though? I found that Exalted bloodletters are, like, really lacking. I don't know what it is about Exalted bloodletters either, right? But, like, technically, I could cut 2 of these guys and take 2 Exalted bloodletters. But every time I run them, I feel like they kind of just get shot to bits. I'd be losing 1 unit of infantry. I really feel like I just need the width. And then Plague Bearers can't keep up, so I can't really use them. And Demon Nuts are way too squishy. So this is it. This is my only infantry. Then again, Warriors of Chaos also, they do the same thing, right? Just Forsaken as their infantry. And then the rest is mobility. So it's not entirely unfeasible that we just spam Fiends. And then maybe it's good enough. I wish it was a small bloodletter. If there was a Nurgling Bloodletter for 400, that would be the dream. That's the problem, right? Nurglings and blues, they don't really fill that cheap infantry role. Although blues are kind of weird. So they don't have the ammunition, but they... It's hard to tell if blues are good. They got nerfed so many times. Did they used to cost 400? And they used to have 5 ammo? Does one Bloodletter beat Forsaken? I think it's close. They might route the Forsaken. Let me see. Let's give it a Warriors of Chaos Forsaken. So they're cheaper than Bloodletters. Even if they do, by the way, it's still not exactly a great situation for me. The big issue is, yes, maybe you kill the Forsaken, but they're so much weaker to cavalry. Forsaken have mass and armor, so they really don't care about cav, especially light cav. This, though, ain't too pretty. Face me. Face me. So you can see, Bloodletters actually win. I guess maybe Bloodletters are just hype. They just always run Bloodletters. Man, they suck versus cav, though. 125 mass? How about these guys? Yeah, Forsaken have 230 mass. Forsaken have so much mass. Oh my gosh. Yeah, so Bloodletters, okay, they will win the infantry fight. They just suck that hard against cavalry. It's all about winning that cav fight. How do you win a cav fight as Chaos Demons? Yeah, the Forsaken got their charge. I saw the damage. At least, I guess we can be thorough about this. Chaos Demons. Okay, let's see this. Let's see this. The AI is notoriously bad at controlling their infantry. It's pretty funny. Everyone complains about AI cheats, but because they over micro their infantry, they actually do underperform. Not all the time. I think the AI cheats still offset it, but not by that much. All right, let's see. This is charged straight into Bloodletters. Bloodletters look like they're still winning. Bonus versus infantry 9. Pretty hype. Look at that. All right, you know what? Bloodletters for life. Every game from now on, we're running Bloodletters. Clearly, they are the secret to all things Demons of Chaos. It's weird. Never thought I'd see a world where I kind of appreciate Bloodletters. Yeah, it's actually pretty solid. So in a vacuum, if it's just infantry, if the only thing you have to worry about is infantry, go Bloodletters. Honestly, they also got spell resist. They got spell resist. They just need backup. I could cut these blues, take another Bloodletter, but as soon as I take something elite, it's getting focus fired. So no elite infantry is actually going to be able to bust in there. But the chaff spam is pretty solid. Demonettes, they don't do nearly as well. We're going to pass on them. Is there a monstrous unit I can merge with the Bloodletters to make them truly terrifying? What if Bloodletter Plague Toad is like the actual most OP thing we've ever seen? Bloodletter Beasts of Nurgle. Two great unclean ones. Man, okay, honestly, if this build We could be ranged corn so easily if there was just one more unit that could cook. Like if demonettes were not so squishy and so vulnerable to everything, the infantry rushes could be so good. Man, I wish I could take spawn. Dude, aren't spawn allowed on tabletop? Aren't spawn allowed? I feel like they are for Demons of Chaos. Why are spawn with the Warriors of Chaos? I'm feeling ripped off. My only other option here for monsters, actually, landed rot flies. Okay, hear me out. You use landed rot flies with your blood letters. You have mass for 900 gold. They're like crypt horrors. How do they compare to crypt horrors anyways? It's so dumb. There's no way it's a good idea, but yeah, they have way less stats. Way less stats. And no regen. And like no HP. Okay. What about Beasts of Nurgle? The Dread Beasts of Nurgle. What does it have? Slime Trail? Yeah, Slime Trail isn't useful though, right? I need deeps. I gotta push through. Can you just stack Bloodletters and Fleshhounds like a scrub? Then you have the mass. It's so dumb. Okay, honestly, Bloodletter Plague Toad is maybe like... It's maybe actually viable because you have the mass of the toads to stop any cavalry from running these guys over, but then you just get skirmished to death. You kind of have to have anti-skirmish, which is why you have the blues. What I would do for like the smallest amount of mass for this faction. Goblins. Round 3. All right, we gotta win our next two if we're gonna make it through. Up against Aldeno. Oh, yo. All right. I'm a Demons of Chaos. So this guy's playing, what's it? Doesn't say. Ah, Coast. Ooh, okay. One of the only matchups where I am actually happy to take Plague Bearers, unironically. Hell yeah. All right. And Trizik's helping me with adminning. Thank you so much, man. He bans Oasis. He's playing Coast. Let's play Madhouse. All right, this should be pretty straightforward. Do I have a proper anti-Coast build? Demons of Chaos versus the Vampire Coast. What is this? Ah, yes, this is the one with Burning Head and Blood Crushers of Corn for some reason. Do I need Blood Crushers of Corn? Seems a little excessive, I'm not gonna lie. I might just replace them with 2 Bloodletters. I feel like Blood Crushers is just a little bit crazy. Alright, build is looking fine. Anyone know if Fleshhound's a good verse Coast? I feel like they would just crumble too fast. Nobody say Plague Toads. Yeah, this should be a good enough build, all things considered. I got basically everything I need. Then we got Fiends, cleanup crew Fiends. I think we just start leaning into the Bloodletters. Unless you go Bloodletter Plague Bearer. What if you just go both Bloodletters and Plague Bearers? Surely they don't just kill all your Bloodletters first, right? Man, dude. If Flesh Hounds were good at countercharging Cav, this would be such a different faction. How does this faction have no cheap mobility? The cheapest mobility they have is Flesh Hounds at 750. Now, if you compare that to Empire at 850 Cav, I guess. And Flesh Hounds are in such a weird spot right now. Maybe they should get buffed again. Make them 700. Would that be too good for Corn? I don't know. I don't know. Do I want a Noxbringer versus Coast? Noxbringer's high, but let's just do this. I'm sure I'll be fine. Spawn is over blessed mortal. Well, they're kind of like Forsaken mortals, right? I know they're technically not demons, but I could have sworn I saw a box in Games Workshop with Spawn on them for the Demons of Chaos. Maybe I'm just going crazy. Dogs are good for diving guns. They're okay. Flesh Hounds versus Scurvy Dogs. Who did it better? They're okay at diving guns, but like, are they really gonna do better than Furies? Maybe. See, what if I just squeeze 2 dogs in there? All right, you know what? Maybe this is slightly better versus Coast. Let's save this and see how it goes. Why not? Demonettes and dog units. Let's take demonettes instead of dogs. At least the dogs have mass. If demonettes had 95 speed, I would run them. Terrifying. They gotta give Slanesh 95 speed infantry. I think that would be the most balanced way to do it. His game crashed. We're gonna have to remake. Oh, huh. Flesh Hounds have a bad attack animation. Interesting. Is that the issue?
You have beaten.
So I'll send the builds to my opponent. A Leviathan. Ooh. Don't know if it can duel my Demon Prince. But that's pretty cool. Yeah, hit a Leviathan and the Lamprey's Revenge. The question is, can he actually jump my pinks? I doubt it. He really doesn't have a lot that can deal with my pinks with this build. So, I'm probably fine. Did it for the free info. Well, we both get info. There's a few builds that are in lane battle, especially knowing what your opponent's build was would be pretty advantageous. In domination, it doesn't matter as much because there's fewer surprises, at least in today's meta. It's not like it's like, whoa, he's gonna have a mega lord snipe thing or a crazy vanguard all in, so I'm gonna deploy in the corner, right? In domination, yeah, there's just fewer crazy strats, I feel. Any chance you're gonna play Tomb King soonish? Maybe. Pretty low ranked right now. I feel like they're lower ranked than they should be. I don't think I'm gonna do a Tomb Kings to #1 type situation, but I feel like double checking to see where they stand in the meta would be good. Especially because I feel like they're really good versus ogres. It's a nice thing to practice. Demon princes are flying chariots. They can't duel anything. It is kind of true. They're a little janky. I can land them. Land the demon prince. Easy peasy. Can beat up the Leviathan from there. Anyways, his damage is decent enough. The big thing that we gotta do here, make sure that the pinks live. We'll do that, we'll be totally fine. Ready, good luck, have fun. My army deployment is fast. Sorry for the ambulance. For those of you who wonder why I don't separate my forces into beautiful groups and all that, it's because, what hotkey do I want these guys on? One? I don't know, maybe one. It's because when I move up, I have to reform my army anyways to kind of react to how my opponent's doing things. So I really don't get that much of a benefit. Like, I'm already kind of doing this, you know, while we're advancing. Unlike land battle, you have a lot of time before the fight actually gets underway. So I think we'll be good. There's this bomber mob. The bombers we don't care about. They don't got enough ammunition. Gets a carronade in. This is where the dodging begins. You get a sick dodge here. Yeah, can you get a sick dodge? Free jokes. Oh, come on, man. He's not even gonna fire at me. Come on. I was gonna get a sick dodge. How dare you? All right, well, next on the docket. So we got some fiends here. If he's if he leaves these guys undefended, they're gonna die to Furies, which is an up trade for me. The thing is, cannons are not a big threat regardless, so I'd rather not lose the Furies if I can avoid it. Okay, and he just summoned some bats. Fellbats lose Furies pretty bad. He even chucks a heal out for them. I don't think that's gonna help him out very much. And now his Leviathan's just chilling on his cannon. So that was just a down trade. Getting that much damage on my Furies is still a little bit rough. But the fact that I still have a unit to play around with and he does not is very good for us. And so begins the pink fire. I honestly thought he was going to summon dogs. But I'll definitely take this. So remember, we got Burning Head. That'll be a good one. I'm just going to chuck out a normal one right now just to get rid of these pesky, pesky zombies. Right off the bat. Don't really want to have to deal with them right now. Oh, his cannons are shooting the fiends. I see. It's a little annoying, actually. I can send 2 Furies on his cannons, though. Honestly, the cannons just make his push so much weaker that I'm personally not too wary. As long as the fiends are in melee, too, his cannons will have a hard time getting line of sight. Such is the state of the game right now. He's really... he's really letting his rotting Prometheans get distracted here. This is a 650 gold unit, man. You can't be having your 1700 gold unit distracted by such a small force. Especially with how slow they are, I'm a little bit worried about the value bus. And he's leaving Moringles. So he left an entire... Everything is... He's screwing up, man. He's goobering. He's goobering as hard as I did last game. Seriously, though. You should absolutely not spend this much money to defend a cannon. The cannon is hype, all right? The cannon is hype, but artillery pieces in Warhammer, they don't really do that much in terms of damage. They're more there to force your opponent to move forwards, less so about actually getting the deeps in. And when you put in so much money into defending these tools, you end up running into a little bit of an issue in that the main fight is completely losing for you now. It's just not very pretty. Deck Gunners did kill my Furies though, that's pretty crazy. Also miss Mike with the Mourngul, sadly.
One of your units has been destroyed.
Now, I am going to dive the Deck Gunners, that's definitely worth it. Maybe we can kill the Carronade. I do have myself a capture point. Love to see that. We're just gonna stop this guy from getting the deep dive in. Get another burning head over here. If we can kill off these fell bats, then I'm in the clear. It's crazy how much this Rotting Leviathan can just tank me though. Bad Lat's just sitting there. But in the end, I just have too much infantry, right? Although we'll see. You know what? He is actually grinding it out surprisingly well here. I think the Rotting Leviathan still dies. But he did actually kill a lot of my backline dive. That's a little bit of a misplay on my end. Lord is also going to have to be a little bit careful. He's got like no value for himself. Very sad. Come on, beat him up. Get that Lord. Alright, yeah, just back him up, man. Just back him up. Let's not lose the Lord anytime soon. I'd rather not if we can avoid it. Rotting Leviathan's just chilling, man. He's just chilling. Alright, if I just spam Bloodletter, so I think we'll be okay. Honestly, with the Leviathan down, that's the major threats out of the way. I still think he's screwed. I did kind of goober it, though. I should not have backline dived after he spent so much money to commit to that. In the end, the backline dive was a misplay. And yes, I am casting on moving infantry. I really don't want those halberds to show up. Not right now, anyways. Alright, so let's just chill with the pinks for a little bit. Get more bloodletters. The fiends. The dogs are actually kind of cooking. Okay, you know what? He's actually kind of being a menace. How are these guys shooting? Wait, how do you actually get them to shoot? That's crazy. Alright, I gotta be careful I don't throw this. That would be mighty embarrassing. Let's just pull over here. Let's move up with the pinks. We'll maybe get a capture point. And then we'll be good. Dang, he really wants my Lord. Let's not Lord throw. Oh my gosh, I was talking smack earlier, but he's tussling. Mad Lad is actually tussling right now. With the Furies here, I'll be okay though. Demon Prince just has to dodge a couple cannonballs coming his way, and he'll be good. Not a problem. There we go. There's the Fury charge. We land with them. We go over here. We make sure this fight gets won. Let's get our pinks over there to steal the points. All right, we killed his flyers. Bit of a goofball game, I'm not gonna lie. This game was a little bit of a goofball maneuver. It definitely should not have been this close. But opponent made it kind of spicy. In the end, his bats are dead. And I'm shooting his deck gunners. I also have a capturing on the way. The bloodletters are here. We'll be fine. All right. It's all good. It's all good. The night terrors are going down. I got Furies over here. He has a lot of guns. Guy has a lot of guns. But it shan't be enough. Get him, boys. Beat him up. Jump the guns. We're gonna go ahead and jump the gun here. In the right way. In the correct manner. Gonna get rid of these pinks that are not very useful. Gonna hit up the bombers so that my infantry can cook. In the end, these plague bearers are just so hype. They will grind longer than any vampire coast unit. Masters of the grind, truly. And Corn Furies in the end are still very strong. So, in the end, despite making it way more sus than I needed it to be, we still win. Huzzah! Did I need to make it this close? Absolutely not. No, we did not. Is everything okay in the end? Absolutely yes. Look at them pinks. They're getting mild amounts of value. Poorly dodged cannonballs. I did get enough. Oh, he sent another bat.
No.
He sent another bat on my lord. I wasn't even paying attention. Holy crap, he's dead. Well, it happens.
Try raw plague bearers in the slow build.
ROR
Big
plague bearers, the
stats.
exalted, sure. I'll wait for fiends. I'll get the fiends on the dogs. It'll be fine. Dude, watch me lose this after all that smack. Honestly, might even be deserved. We'll see. Zombies over there are crumbling. There's the fiends. We'll save the point.
One of your units
Watch
has
him have
been
like
destroyed.
50 units summoned in right now. Just get deleted. It's fine. I don't need a lord. Who needs a lord? Should try not bringing a lord at all. You know, there's a lot of builds where you just run like the cheapest lord you possibly can. Those builds go pretty well for me. Alright. Alright, he baited out some Furies on his way out, alright? The game's still over.
One of your units
Am I
has
on
been
my A game
destroyed.
today? Absolutely not. This is far from my peak performance. Are we winning still? Yes. Alright. I really gotta step up my game though if we're gonna win today's tournament. There's no way I'm gonna decrease the Demons of Chaos win rate today. Not today, alright? Yeah, the ROR Plague Bearer is pretty high. I think we'll take a look at
Your
him.
units has been destroyed.
Because their regeneration make them everlasting, right? Yeah, okay. He gets the deck gunners, but they can't capture points. So as long as I hold on to these two, I got no problem. Let's get a blue here for the last hunkering down. Admit it, you don't want this challenge to end. It's fun. It is fun. I have been getting the itch though to play some other factions. How about after this challenge we get Ogre Kingdoms to number 1? I feel like that would be a nice breath of fresh air, you know? How many games do I have to play? Like one? I think one game, maybe an extra one if I lose, and then Ogre Kingdoms will be back at 1. Yeah, we're online. Yeah, Ogres seem easy. Well, after this challenge, it'll literally be number 2. Alrighty, he still hasn't captured this point. It's taken him ages. Millennia, even. Alright, he's not stealing this point. Not from me. Not today. How much do I need to pay you to use green skins? With Here We Go.
Take it back.
And the Dancing Shaman. Honestly, $5 and I'll add it to the list. But yeah, maybe I'll try an Exalted Plague Bearer next game. I've never been that sad seeing Exalted Plague Bearers.
Has been destroyed.
GG, well played.
Glory is yours.
Honestly, my opponent made it very spooky. Genuinely well played. I think there was some misplays, but he definitely exploited my mistakes very well. So it was Chaos Demons versus Vampire Coast. And Chaos Demons win. So we are at +1 win today for them. That's not a huge amount. It's not a huge amount, but we will eventually get there. Slowly but surely. Plague Bearers were amazing. Pinks actually paid for themselves. Nice. And the Leviathan just had no targets. Furies were really good. And the Lord was only okay. I think had we some cheaper Lords, life would not be so difficult. Very much so like the Furies. I think Corn Furies is where it's at. The world wants dinos. The world wants too much. I am but one man. I can only play one tourney a day. It would take me a month to go through all the factions. A month. Too many. It's too many of them, man. One faction for each stream. Just go down the list. Ugh. How much for you for you to fly to Switzerland, play on your PC, and get me to top 3? You know, I do coaching. I can get you to top 3. Unfortunately, coaching's expensive. So unless you got the money for it, the other option is to have me smurf, which would need a lot. Considering that smurfing would probably get me kicked out of the scene. And make me lose out on kind of the most fun part of my job. Probably a lot. I think the coaching would be cheaper, actually. But 2K. Give me $2,000. I'll throw my life away. No. How much money would I want to throw my life away? It'd probably be a lot. Would it be in the 6-figure range? I'd probably do it for less. I'm not gonna lie. But if anyone wants to donate 100K, I'm sure the community would understand. Hell, I could bribe people in the community to let me back in with that amount of money. Holy crap. Imagine, right? Imagine Turin bans me. Imagine Turin bans me. I'm like, would this change your mind? Slip $10,000. He'd let me back in. Maybe not though. Maybe not. I feel like Turin is. I feel like Turin. You know, he's uncorruptible. Unless you're Nurgle, there's no way. The only thing that can corrupt the man are things that look like Nurglings. Hey, Michael Porter. Thanks for the entertainment while your wife was out of town. This is for that guy's green
Thanks
skin.
for the entertainment while my wife was out of town.
Okay.
This is for that guy's green skin / here we go / dancing shaman buff and my exalted plague bearers. Get a dip
Alright.
bar. Dips are the squats of the upper body.
Get a dip bar. Ooh. Alright. I'll look into it. I do have a gym in the building that I live in. I should probably just go there more, but dip bar sounds tight. I will look into that. Thank you so much for the 20. What was it? Here we go. Plus dance. All right. It's on the list. It's on the list. So let's see here. So I gotta go to Anticity Challenges. At Michael. Porter. Truther. Here. So that's here we go. Plus. Let's see, added. Here we go, plus dancing shaman. as greenskins. All right. It's on the list. I can be done eventually once I play greenskins. What's the melee attack boost on the dancing shaman? Mumbo jumbo chant. It's 24 melee attack, 25% more damage. It's like a really bad version of the blood letter guy 40 melee attack boost. But it's there. All right. Honestly, maybe I will play greenskins once I'm done this challenge. Round 4. The rounds are going by quickly today. Love it. And we're up against the Big H. Big H. That's Rogue AI. Yo, yo. I'm Demons of Chaos. And what might you be playing this glorious day? It appears you're playing Chaos Dwarves. Oh, God. When people play Chaos Dwarves, there's like 2 builds they can bring. And it's kind of a coin flip on who has a huge advantage at the start. So we're gonna have to cook it. We're gonna have to cook real hard here. Chowie. I'll ban Glinty. Do I ban Brave Alley? Brave Alley maybe? It's Chaos Dwarves. I'll ban Glinty. Ban Glinty Tooth's Crag and then we'll be good. Look at the numbers with the Here We Go. Well, yeah, Here We Go is great. It's plus 40, so you can get plus 64 melee attack. It's a little excessive. Plus 40 is already enough to make a cavalry crush in a melee fight. The list will eventually become a screen blocker at some point. Yeah, it's going faster than I can shrink it. All right, we're doing Norskin Rise. All right, hi. All right. A little bit of giant map action. I believe Chaos Demons should be pretty comfortable here, right? On a little wee little Norskin Rise. The thing about Chaos Demons on this map is that yeah, I think they're more fast than Chaos Dwarves. They technically have their skirmishers, but not that much else. If I put a blue on the high ground, is there anything he can realistically do about it? I don't know, man. Let's see here. What magic do I want? I know Chaos Dwarves are not a fan of getting Lore of Meddled. You do kind of need some stuff for their infantry. You can just kill the lords, though. It's not the end of the world. They can have some spooky artillery, though. That one's annoying. And the map's massive, so it goes for some artillery shenanigans. It could be not very pretty. I think there's actually a decent chance that my opponent makes this a difficult time. Yeah, they have fire resist, so they a lot of my units just don't really do well versus Chaos Dwarves. But that's the dwarf units. The goblins I don't think have fire resist. So we're a little bit more comfortable there. Just how do I catch the skirmishers? Is there even a way to catch them? Okay, like I like this. I really taking this thing? A little bit of a weird build. I'm not the biggest fan of what I'm looking at. Let's actually sub this out. I think this build would do much better if I had... Okay, like we know the Fire Glaives die to armor-piercing Furies. Slanesh is really good there. Could die Fireborn, have a hard time versus Fiends, though they can be a little spooky. The Bull Centaurs, they should also die to Fiends. Chaos Dwarves are not the best when it comes to the mobility. But then what? But then what? Are Fleshhounds good here? Fleshhounds can kind of harass the skirmishers. Buy some space for my Fiends. They don't die as fast as Furies. I guess they're okay. I guess they're all right. I'm not insanely impressed by them. Sure, let's just do this. If we lose, we lose. But it would be a very unsuccessful day. 50% win rate. If I can just win the semifinal. Oh no. If I want to increase the win rate, we have to win this match. And then if I win the semis and lose the grand finals, it's not the end of the world. It's just kind of status quo. The number of games I have to win is more or less the same. But if I can win the semis and the grand finals, we are so set. But yeah, if I go 2-2, it lowers the win rate. Right now, we're 2-1. So if we look at the win rate, if we go to the stats right now, Chaos Demons, they're still at 53. Dang it. Yo, getting them to 54 is taking some time. I can't believe I lost that game. Gotta remember, I have to be locked in to increase their win rate as much as possible. Yeah, we have to win this. We gotta. Put Nurgle on top. Dude. Well, Nurgle's only 46% win rate, but they have so many more games played. The only reason I can do this with Chaos Demons is because they're one of the least played factions in the whole game right now. I think they might even be the least played outside of Ogres. So they have 165 games. I mean, 265. Does anyone have fewer than 265? Beastmen. Dang, Beastmen are 240, 250? Yeah, they're like 250. And Grand Cathay is... Grand Cathay is less than 240. Oh, wait, no. No, they're 244. Okay. Less than 250. Okay, so Grand Cathay is the least played faction in the game. Demons of Chaos is the third least played, so... Yeah. Yeah, every win means less than the next. Yeah, if I just go 50% win rate for too long, it gets harder and harder to increase the win rate. It's brutal. Never ending treadmill this is. Alright, here's your Exalted Plague Bearers. There was a request for some Exalted Plagues. These guys have a 5% shield. No, 10%. How massive. Yeah, they have a 10% shield, which is okay. If it captures the side point, I'm happy. Ready, good luck, have fun. And my lord just has Final Transmutation. Chaos Dwarves are pretty weak to Final Transmutation. So if I go hard on that, we should be okay. About the Demon's Tongue. And Zetan. 25% magic resist. Is that towing anything? Okay. So it's not towing anything. I might even just bring out the Soul Grinder to start. I think a Soul Grinder start's not the worst. We'll have to back it up from Zetan. He wants blood. Guy absolutely wants to murder me. At least the skirmishers can't get too much heat on me. So I think he wants to dodge there. Dang it, was that really a no dodge? Crazy. All right, and for the Demon's Tongue, you know what? Let's just get the fiends out. He has a Spirit Leecher, okay. Potential Lord Snipe shenanigans. Let's get this unit real deep so we can brace against the Demon's Tongue. Just a wee bit. Hopefully jump it with fiends. Get a little bit of space here. And then hopefully get a mighty overcast Final Transmutation on Zetan. Also clipping his caster too here is pretty nice.
You have the foe's victory.
I just want to keep this thing modest. Let's make sure it doesn't get too much work done. The lower Zetan gets, the better. Let's get some Flesh Hounds on the high ground. I don't really see him pushing me anytime soon. This is more of a kite game. So just gonna take it easy. That was certainly a very good Final Transmutation though. But as long as this game lasts a while, and it should because the Immortals are coming on in, I'm feeling pretty okay actually. Not only can we slowly chip away at Zetan's HP, we also will have the high ground capture point soon. Because I have no intention of fighting these Infernal Ironsworn, you know? Like they're just a menace. And definitely a bad time. So if we can just avoid them, it's perfect. Is he gonna net me? Are you gonna net me, bro? Leave me alone! So he goes to the fight. Doesn't get the net though. Zetan takes a pretty brutal engagement there. Overall, I'd say this ain't too pretty for the Demons of Chaos. Zetan's gonna get low to the point of basically being useless here if he's not careful. Getting Zetan out of the fight now would be a big plus. And there's the capture point.
You have the foe's victory.
He would need to commit quite a few forces to re-secure that point. So sitting pretty comfy. And that means I can ignore these guys yet a little bit longer. Then we get our big old Tzeentch demon to blast his trains and such. Keep ignoring the immortals and all that. And then we chill. Just gotta consolidate my army a little bit. Then we should be good. I really do hope he engages with Zetan here. That would be perfect. Come on, you know you want to. Did he Spirit Leech my Stooges? That's pretty crazy. Stooges also got a pretty massive volley on him too. That's painful. Little bit of a misplay. And that's gonna put Zetan down to basically no HP. Honestly, Stooges are kind of hyped too. Stooges actually got a lot of damage on Zetan. 600 gold worth on Zetan with those guys. What a menace. Whoever suggested Stooges, thank you very much. They're actually kind of hyped. And a heal too. Oh my gosh. This game is too kind. So overall, not too bad. I can start blasting Zetan. Soul Grinder hurts. Boom. He does magic damage, not fire damage. So Zetan also doesn't resist that. Pretty jokes. Middle point, I shouldn't have to worry about too much. And then do we just kill the guy or do we just leave him low? Because I also don't really want him to resummon Zetan. But I guess just outright killing him is totally fine. Immortals are not a big deal either. We'll just, yeah, we'll just camp him like so. Out capture way him. Barely too, you know, that's rough. And the Chaos Dwarves are suffering the problem that all dwarves suffer now. The fact that they are slow as butts. These poor guys, man. He brought in the most elite dwarven infantry. Only for them to waddle forever and deal a smidge of damage. By the time they showed up, the fight was basically over. Kind of brutal to see, actually. Do the Furies kill these guys? Okay. I don't know why there are so many people that enjoy driving loud vehicles outside. But yeah, I'd be a little worried for these Immortals. Imagine being called the Immortals and you died to some Furies. How's this guy? 600 value so far. So as long as he's shooting Lords, he's actually doing a pretty decent job. They do take a Fury out. Against all odds, though. Impressive. But dang, look at that Soul Grinder, man. I don't always take the Zinj Soul Grinder. But in these kind of kite games, I think it's actually pretty decent. Can even retarget onto the Bull Centaurs. We are on a triple cap. And then we're just gonna counter his summon by bringing in some boys. Immortals go down. You hate to see it. And then can we do some of this? What are those? Just wolf riders? Not an issue. You dare spirit leech me? Javelin to the face. Yo, this thing's annoying, man, dude. It doesn't do that much damage, but it's annoying because you can't dodge it either. I always felt like this Zinj Soul Grinder would be really good if I was playing a Chaos Dwarf player that was going for the long con and just trying to kite me out. It's one of those units that will eventually get its value on these big targets. So just by the fact that it kind of keeps them off the main fight, I think it is actually a good idea. Oh, he's Bunaing the Festering Stooges? That's crazy. Okay, yeah, the guy's already routing, so I guess you gotta spend your magic, but the Stooges just ate 2 Bunas. You served well, Stooges. You served well. Yeah, Zinj's whole thing is being annoying, yeah. That's what this bird is for. So you can't Lord Snipe me. This guy hasn't lost a single HP. He's doing great. Having the time of his life, man. Get there! Yes! That's the worst. When every pixel is red, but you don't get the point. Brutal. Well, GG! Alright. Honestly, I think my opponent's build wasn't that bad. The bigger issue is just the fact that I kind of had all the tools to deal with them. When you have blues, going for skirmishers is pretty rough, right? And I also have a new appreciation for bloodletters. They're kind of hype. I kind of like bloodletters. I'm not gonna lie, they were actually not the worst. Oh, I guess I gave him no targets for magic. Yeah, he couldn't Spirit Leech my lord. He couldn't Buna my mobility. Literally the only place he could spend his magic is on the Stooges. Oh my god. Yeah, that actually makes sense. I'm looking at my army now, I'm like, what the crap is death magic supposed to do against any of this? Oh no, bro. That sucks, man. He used so much magic and he only got 900 value. Zetan got literally 0. Dude, Zetan is butts. That player is refunding his Chaos Dwarf DLC. Oof, man. Yeah, the train did well, though. But yeah, I think the blues and the bloodletters kind of, they kind of fill the gaps that need filling. Holy value. Almost 3k on that guy. Yeah, bloodletters are okay. They're still kind of expensive for what they do. They hate being shot up, but yeah. Not the worst. Oh, those are Infernal Ironsworn. Dang, he really summoned in the elite infantry. But like, what are you supposed to do, right? Look how badly the Bull Centaurs did. Bull Centaurs are bad. Should have brought Aspect of the Dread Knight. I've seen that against demons. It can work okay. But anyways, this does secure our slot in the tiebreakers. So we have Potatoes Devil, Adlering, myself, and Death Pancake. Those are the people that we shall be facing. I think Potatoes Devil's probably one of the spookier. I think Potato Devil is yeah, I think he's the spookiest one here. You know, the Stooges, they might have died, but they ate Bunas for days. What else could we really ask for? No, this is a good Chaos Dwarf, anti-Chaos Dwarf build. I think it's only okay. I think had he brought some artillery, my rush would have been slowed down by the Stooges a lot. But artillery can be pretty sketchy. It really only takes one final transmutation. And the artillery's probably running for the hills. You can't save it because final trains. So it's a little sus. Why did his spells not work? So Buna does a flat amount of damage. I believe it's 3,200 or something. Festering Stooges have some of the highest HP on an infantry unit in the entire game. They have 13,000 HP. Most infantry is like around the 8,000 to 10,000 range. So when you do a flat amount of damage, you just do a lower percentage against the unit than you usually would, thus making them quite resistant to the spell. But alright, tiebreakers. So we're still waiting on Adler and Potatoes Devil. Michael and Lazuka are also fighting off. The winner, if Michael wins, they make it tiebreakers. If Lazuka wins, neither of them do. And then Gamer Guy and El Deno. Their match does not apply. So we're really just waiting on one more match, realistically. And we can get into the tiebreakers. Can someone explain why Urandan's Thunderbolt does so little damage to Grom? There's some weird things with hitboxes. Urandan's Thunderbolt also doesn't really do damage to Death Shriek rocket launchers. And it's because it just isn't hitting them. It's only hitting them with the explosion damage, not the direct hit damage. And that might be what's happening with Lil Grom. Lil Grom also seems to have some weird hitbox shenanigans, so who knows? Who knows? But yeah. Because they have no crew? No, it's not about the crew. Uranins is specifically really good against single entities. The crew doesn't matter on how it kills the Hell Cannon. It can miss the crew entirely, but it'll blow it up. Can't wait for another Kislev DLC so they can give us a big Grom. They gave us a big bear. Is it good? Nah. Alright. I'm not gonna lie. Nothing against the player. But I kind of want Michael 4755 to lose because it means we get to skip the tiebreaker round. Now, you know, I want everyone to succeed, right? But, I'm just saying, it would make life a little bit easier. We can get straight to whether or not I can get more wins. I need to get 2 wins here, otherwise it's just, we're losing win rate. If I get a loss, we still increase the win rate, but very marginally today. Medium Grom. Mega Grom. We need tiny Grom. Yeah, Uranus doesn't work on Deathstreaker. It's so janky, man. This game is jank piled upon jank, piled upon jank. An endless piling. Yeah, wins and tiebreaker don't count on the win rate, sadly. Unfortunately so. They're manually set up by myself, so technically Chaos Demons could be higher. If it wasn't for those darn tiebreakers. Is Michael 4755 gonna make it? Yeah, it used to one-shot Deathstreakers. They changed something. Now it does nothing. Nothing. Little Grimgore. Big Grimgore. We need a bigger Grimgore. He's too small. And we need a big Greasus. Greasus is also too small. The ambulance is back. Yeah, I live kind of close to the ambulance spawn point, I guess. It's either a hospital or a fire station. Yeah, we need an intensity bingo. Ambulance in the background. Me saying damage. Spawn point? Yeah, spawn point. That's how ambulances are born, man. I can tell I am gaming too much. We need 200. I will also accept 200 movement speed greases. Both are perfectly fine. Gorbad on a boar and an orc boy. I would imagine Gorbad's pretty massive. I have not looked at him though. Let's see, are there any units other than Bloodletters that I should be... For all of you Demons of Chaos enjoyers, and I know there's like one of you, is there a unit that you just never see me bring that you're like, come on in? This unit is amazing. Because I'm not gonna lie, the Fiends and the Bloodletters feel like the only good units right now. Oh, I guess the Furies kind of. But Furies can get hard countered. They're not like consistently good like these guys. Like these are like A plus S minus tier. This is like A tier. The Bloodthirster. Ah, yes. The Bloodthirster. Alright, we're doing tiebreakers. That means it's me versus Death Pancake. Alright. At Adler. At Potatoes Devil. Michael. Stand by. I'm doing tiebreakers with at Death Pancake. I'm top bracket. We can actually advance the top 4. That way there's 2 players that can play right now. Because we only have 3 people with all the wins. Actually, at Potatoes Devil, at Michu, you guys can face off. That way only one person has to wait. So hoping it's Death Pancake. Okay. All right. So let's get the code. I'm Demons of Chaos. Let's double check that all the stuff is set up correctly. It's a Death Pancake one. Michael actually launched themselves up the leaderboard with that win. Pretty terrifying. And nice, we're playing versus Corn. Corn is chill. I'll ban Carcass. So we'll play either Haunted Vale or Itza. Now these are not the best maps for Demons of Chaos, but I think we'll manage. See you later, Decay. Oh wait, no, are you saying Felix? Is Felix dipping? Oh, Michael Porter. Peace. Look forward to the greenskin 100 melee attack blob. Thank you very much. Hopefully this challenge shall be done soon. So he bans Itza. Dang, okay. Haunted Vale is a pretty good map for us, I feel. So, in theory, this build should be good versus Corn. Yeah, as long as I don't botch it. As long as you don't hard botch the build. There's always a chance your opponent just makes life miserable. What could Corn bring? I feel like bringing Bloodletters versus Corn is just playing right into their hand. Now they do have far worse cavalry, but like, probably just gonna have some sick melee dudes, you know? I'm looking at my build, it doesn't even fill me with that much confidence. I don't even want these. I think these are better. If I'm facing Corn, I think that's definitely better. Mobility wise, are Seekers even better than Fleshhounds here? Dude, Seekers feel so lackluster nowadays. What did they do to them, man? Seekers were like the king of kings back in the day. He fell off a cliff for apparently no reason. Huh. Yeah, sure. Let's save this one. Demons of Chaos versus Khorne. Hopefully it's enough. Khorne definitely lacks counterplay. But it's so easy to just not play it well. And then you're dead. Chariots of Slaanesh are pretty good in campaign against any infantry. Yeah. If people weren't spamming so many skirmishers, maybe they could do well. Everyone's kiting Demons of Chaos. Though there are definitely some infantry builds, but then you get countercharged. I feel like they should give the Slaanesh chariots like 90 armor. Give them a wee bit more armor and then we're cooking. Indeed, Khorne definitely got that unga bunga. A terrifying faction to behold. But let's see. So I got Furies. I got the squad here. Khorne skirmishers are pretty weak. They're not particularly strong because they are axe throwers, so their low range will hold them back. And hopefully we can actually catch him with the Locus of Swiftness. If he does not have skirmishers, I will hold 1 point, they'll capture 2, and then while the army is split, I get some free pickings. Maybe I go for Changebringers, we'll see. We see a Valkia, some Skull Reapers, alright, that's pretty interesting. Some Flesh Hounds. We know Flesh Hounds are... They have it pretty rough to really any cavalry charge here. So we're just gonna go for it. Gonna get that buff. We're gonna speed boost. And then all going well. I just kill off the entire mobility core of my opponent and then we win. That's about the gist of it. Occam's Mind Razor, because most magic doesn't do that much versus Khorne. And that's that's a lot of money. That's 1,250 gold down the drain. So that's pretty rough. Valkia is netted now. I would say this is a bad position for my opponent. Yeah, this seems like a bad position. Especially if we can kill Valkia here. My opponent just lost all things mobility. Moving is but a dream to them now. It's just infantry. Even these guys are on foot. Oh, jeez. Well, you know what happens. We might win this game with 3 losses. Though, if he sticks around, I'm sure he'll get more kills here. But here's the problem, right? Without mobility, you can't do anything versus the Changebringers, man. Oh my gosh, Valkia the Bloodied. Yeah, so this is the end times for Khorne. The moment you lose that anti-air, it's just brutal. Marauders of Khorne. Goodbye. It's about half of their HP. Yeah, this is gonna be a massacre. Yeah, it's just gonna be a little bit rough. There goes a third of the HP on the corn gores. There goes a third of the HP on the marauders. There we go. And there's no point taking a risky fight here. So I'm just gonna play this one out smart. Disengage and whatnot. Then we camp the Changebringers on top of these guys. He did just get the Lord Loss penalty, by the way. So all of his leadership is in the dumps all of a sudden. And with the cultists down, it's gonna be pretty chill. So netting them down means that they can't dodge. And that's a one cultist out of the picture. You can escort him off with this lady. And we rout off the other one. Suddenly there is no more leadership in this little pocket, which means now we can go for the deep dive. And just like that, everything's routed. Cultists I can pretty easily escort off as they're on foot. There's the melee attack boost, so that's 80 melee attack Furies. And the Changebringers can just finish the job now. They will have a happy-go-lucky time. Melting the face off of everything. Onto the Minotaurs they go. There's the capture point. Cultist is gone. Not even a single summon. There go the Minotaurs. We're already about to break, bro. The Changebringers. So this is what makes Demons of Chaos feel real bad to play against. This is what I mean by they have a couple matchups that go really well for them. Because Khorne really needs to get that win condition. And if they don't, they lose so fast. Like, these Changebringers are almost impossible to deal with. You need to spam Furies, you gotta get the Valkia. You gotta micro her perfectly and all that. Yeah, we're at a 7k value difference now. It's not very great. There's the D-summon on that bad boy. Great thing about these charges, if you click the unit in the middle, it will make you get some impact hits on them. So there's the Occam's Mind Razor. There's the ludicrous damage. They should all be routed off pretty easily. Comeback time, baby. I'm ready. There may be a chance. Honestly, nothing against my opponent, though. It can be useful sticking in games for a variety of reasons. Even if this one is absolutely over. I think I haven't lost a single unit. I think we've lost a few entities, but that's about it. They do have a dog on the far side. The singular good boy. I guess we'll send a fiend, maybe a fury over there. The melee attack boost is in 94 melee attack. Ludicrous. 7,000 up. Very solid. Poison is being applied by my Allures. And then we just save up for a little bit of this, a little bit of a Keeper Secrets action. Should be pretty fun. Any blood spilled is good. In this case, it's a lot of Khorne blood. The followers of Khorne are not having a great day. And basically completely tabled. He taps out. GG, well played to my opponent. That was pretty rough. I wonder if he had Furies. I don't think he would have won even with them because Occam's. but yeah. Oh, dang. The only flyer he had was Valkia. That'll do it. That'll do. Unfortunately, as Khorne, you kind of have to take the maximum amount of Furies. If you don't, the brutalization, man. Absolute brutalization. We're up. I'm Demons of Chaos. We're up against Adlering now. Completely uncontested Changebringers get you back 3,000 advantage because of the D-summon. And Adler is playing Coasts. Alright. Oh wait, did we play them earlier in this tournament? I think we did. Well, should be fairly chill. Should be fairly chill. I'll ban Itza. Force Coast to have to play on a big map. And you're fairly comfortable. And does he have a solution for this? So last time he spammed range and defended them fairly well. If I had to rush them down, what would be the option? We saw Furies are only good at killing Fellbats. Pretty bad against Deck Gunners, though. You could just kill his front line again and get the pinks in there. That's probably the best option. Rotting Leviathan's kind of a menace. It's not like you can't kill it with Changebringers. Last time the pinks did really well. Like, just the pinks and the Plague Bearers did really, really well. So maybe we go the same build. Is there a counter? So, like, what if he just maxes out on Deck Gunners? Surely he can't defend them all. Do I have any other mobility options? Not really. So I guess we, yeah, I guess we just go for it. The other option is Noxbringer Kite. Let's just do it though. Hopefully we don't die and we can increase that win rate. Hey, Death Pancake in chat, what's up? I wasn't expecting a win, but man, my teeth hurt. It happens, man. It was less so the micro, more so the fact that you just had no air game against a very strong air to ground faction. Then of course the Valkia, but honestly I think if I took a more normal build it would have gone better, that's for sure. I think it was mostly the build advantage. Ready, good luck, have fun. Face me Adler. So we're playing against Vampire Coast. Can we secure victory? I have a lot of pinks. If we can out DPS them with the pinks, I'm happy. Let's just not die to Deck Gunners. The bloat max. Thank goodness I have this guy. Otherwise I'd have to pop them with, oh, I guess I have Flesh Hounds and Fiends. Or I could shoot them. Bloat should be manual detonation. I don't know why they blow up on contact. That's the silliest thing I've ever seen. Why? Why? The fact that they blow up on... Or they should have way more HP. So you can't even shoot them to death. You have to, like, run into them to blow them up. The thing about units in this game is that they can't have more than a few counters. Poor guy can't even refund Khorne. Oh my gosh. Alright, he's ready. Same match as before. And he's gone for Depth Guard. Lamprey's Revenge. chunkiest line of zombies you've ever seen. More of a zombie maxing build today. So what do I want? Against a zombie max, bloodletters are pretty solid. I think we absolutely go for the bloodletters. Do I save the burning heads? I think I do. I'm usually not hurting from magic that bad. He has a few summons he could chuck out, maybe. We're just gonna hokey poke him. I'm honestly not too worried. These plague bearers are chunky, man.
We have a victory
Gets a
point.
summon off.
Keep it from the foe.
We're gonna blast the bombers. Yeah, we're gonna blast the bombers. And then we're gonna do a little bit of... Oh. Gonna do a little bit of that. They're moving infantry, but it should slow down their advance pretty hard. Massive damage. Absolutely massive damage. And the Lord's just gonna keep them busy for a bit. Now, technically the Depth Guard can beat the Plague Bearers. But if I kill everything else in sight first, it shouldn't be a big deal. The thing about most of his infantry is that they are extremely squishy. I'm actually just going to ignore the Lamprey's Revenge 2. We don't really got to worry about that. And he can't have that many Morngulls. Simply has way too many infantry units to get that on the battlefield. So assuming that's not an issue, he will hopefully run out of units soon. So we'll take care of the Morngulls.
One of your units
Drop it
has
like
been
it's hot over
destroyed.
there. Use the Flesh Hounds on them. Don't really need the super elite guys for the job. This should do all right. Value trading apparently is actually slightly out of our favor. News to me, because it doesn't look like he has that many units left, but it's probably all in the Lamprey's Revenge and the Lord damage. I've definitely taken a lot more Lord damage than he has, right? 2 Furies for a Morngul is actually a bit of a down trade too. So I definitely have to be a little wary. We've killed off most of his zombies, but the Depth Guard remain. And he has another Morngul coming on in. So I think the Bloodletters will send on the Depth Guard. The dogs, we're gonna go for the Haunters. And then maybe I can just kite these Depth Guard back a little. Get a little bit of a rear charge here. And then hopefully the Bloodletters just cook.
The foe's victory point.
This is actually a little bit more sus than one might hope for. His Morngulls here even survive, which is not especially promising for me. Looks like the Flesh Hounds at least are doing okay. But I'm definitely gonna need something a little chonkier to deal with all this annoying stuff, right? Though I must say, the Flesh Hounds are really good versus Coast. Flesh Hounds are surprisingly good here. They're just mulching those Morngulls, man. And once we get the Fiends on these guys, then we should be sitting a lot more comfortable. Match is definitely far from over, though, as this pocket is going to be a little bit of a problem. Them Morngulls just don't know when to give up. Okay, so we're gonna kill them first. We'll get some Fiends. We're gonna use them to clear off this left capture point. And we're going to play a little bit of an avoidance game. Because yes, maybe I can take a good fight here. And maybe it'll go well.
One of your units has been destroyed.
But if it doesn't go well, the game's just over. And I don't exactly want to gamble my entire life on that just yet. So we're going to do the next best thing and just go for some flank points. He doesn't have that many zombies to speak of right now. Flank points should be at least reasonable to deal with. Getting the depth guard to a crumbling point should definitely help. Look at that, we got plague bearers on the zombies. So yeah, let's just evacuate and take it easy for just one darn second. It'll also give me time to make use of all the crumbling units here. So that'll definitely be a little bit okay.
Has been destroyed.
Am I worried though? A little bit. Definitely gonna need more fiends, right? Because look at that, more crabs are coming. I guess I can get another pink though. No, another pink ain't too bad, actually. You know what? Maybe we just get another pink. And then up trade our way through the rest of this. His lord is out of ammunition too. His depth guard are certainly having a bad day. And yeah, if I can just prevent that point from getting captured,
One of your units has been destroyed.
maybe it ain't too bad. These guys have fire damage, so they reduce the healing on these guys. And a glorious flank charge for my wonderful, wonderful fiends. Based on the fact that it's mostly infantry here, if I bring in some bloodletters, I should be okay. My opponent's definitely going to make this close, but I think we barely will come out on top because of that overextension. I think he totally could have won it, though. This was actually a very spooky game. It did not feel very comfortable at all. And we still have another big crabbo here. We're just being saved by the fact that a lot of his units are overextending. Kind of terrifying, if I do say so myself. So I'm probably just going to get more fiends coming on in here. Let's get a hard to dodge burning head. I want them to start crumbling. Just makes life a little bit easier for me. Pistol mob shouldn't be a big deal. As long as my lord don't die. But there's more in goals. Okay. Best way to deal with Morin goals is probably just a solid rear charge. His depth guard on the flank are definitely suffering. That's good. Really don't like how low my lord is getting, though. Can I steal a point?
One of your units has been destroyed.
I really don't like how low my lord is getting. Yeah, he's healing his lord. He gets a hit on that demon prince. I could actually just straight up end me here. So I think we're just gonna capture this point. You know what? We're going for the flank points. We're avoiding this fight against the Morin goals. We'll leave a couple sacrificial blues. I can't believe it. My fiends are dying. Bro, how are the fiends dying, man?
One of your units has been destroyed.
All right, well, I got another fiend on the battlefield at least. Ticket-wise, admittedly, it's a little sus. At least I got a good burning head. We're probably capturing the point, thank goodness. And it'll take him a while to get here. We will have to play keep away from his super elite squad here. They're definitely gonna be a little bit of an issue. Okay, nice. We got the unit full crumbling. That's very good. But yeah, you see, this is a problem. That's kind of a problem. I don't like that. Oh boy. What do I need to kill him? So he has another depth guard coming on in. If we can do the little split them up strat again, mayhaps we will have a little bit of a chance. Pinks are getting a lot of damage. That's good. And okay, I can get another fiend in here very soon. That's good. What I think I actually need are dogs to kill these guys. Because I just got to stop them from capturing the points, right? All right, here we go. Operation Stop them from capping the points is underway. Depth guard are going to be an issue. Pistol shots here may kill my lord if I'm not careful.
One of your units has been destroyed.
Woo! A little close, a little close. Does he barely live? 6 leadership. If his leadership gets any lower, we're dead. Oh, it's such a menace. I believe I also have to triple cap him. Not a very good sign for us. At least the Furies can deal with them zombos. We know the Flesh Hounds are good. But man, my lord is kind of sucking right now. He's actually gonna win this one.
Has been destroyed.
If he camps on this point, I'm probably just dead. I don't really see how we come back exactly. Unless maybe we can kill off his Crabos here. They are a little bit exposed. And I will have 5 minutes to secure the game. Let's see. So we want Furies to counter these guys, right? We'll send them in. We got a lot of Furies. He may have a couple more in goals, but our dogs, we know the dogs do well against them. And then I just gotta make sure the depth guard don't just gotta make sure the depth guard don't end me here, right? So we just gotta pull back away from the depth guard. I have a lot of time. Sure, we may be coming down to 3 minutes now. 3 minutes to secure this point in time. But when has that ever been an issue for me, right? Okay, so there's another pistol summon, all right. So let's get the blues in there. Capture weight here is definitely going to be a little bit of an issue. I'm not going to lie. Against 2 depth guard, it's going to be just a smidge of an issue. It's just going to be a little smidge of an issue. Now, a bloodletter here should get on the point in time to turn the tide. The fact that his lord is chilling here, though, means that leadership is not going to be a big problem for these depth guard. And he does have depth guard pole arms, which is unfortunate to say the least. He's actually gonna win this.
One of your units has been destroyed.
He's gonna win this, bro. Oh my god, dude, the pinks suck at killing things. Oh my god, and he has units here now. Dang, man. I think I'm gonna have to reassess. Moringulls ended up being a huge issue. I think I should have just had more flesh hounds though. But then you gotta kill the big crabs. Dang, bro, that's crazy. Vampire Coast did it. Yeah, we got craboed. Dang. Did you well play? Adler moves on to the finals. Demons of Chaos were not able to win this day. Dang, that's pretty hardcore. Even with the misplays, it was very tough killing the crabs. Like, the only way I killed the crabs was when he way overextended with them. Death Guard were definitely a good choice. He did resummon them in the end, but I think they paid for themselves before the resummon. Yeah, we gotta fix up the build. Obviously, he's adapting to the last game that we played. Spec slot for finals, please. Obviously, he's adapting, but dang, that's rough. Screamers. Sadly, screamers are a little bit of a paper hammer. That's the phrase I use to describe units that are supposed to fill a role, but are too weak to actually do so. Yeah, we had the Daniel. So the Daniel only has... Yeah, he doesn't have that much HP, admittedly. So he did kind of run out of oomph. I don't know if there's a Demon Prince that can actually... fill the slot that we're looking for here, though, right? Like, I need an absolute unit of a Lord. I think Keeper of Secrets would only be okay. The good versus crabs, though. I'll give them that. But they don't really have the best spells. All right, let's take a look. I think you do want a Noxbringer kite almost all the time. I was really impressed by how the dogs performed, so I'm definitely going a bunch of dogs. Fiends are pretty decent into crabs. But what would be my most cost-effective anti-crab tech? Pinks don't really have AP, which is why they didn't do so well there. Demonettes are only okay versus the Crabos. Jeez, do I have anything versus the crabs? My best option might actually be a Keeper of Secrets and a Noxbringer, and just send them in melee. Yeah, dogs are good. Herald on a bike. I don't think he actually uptrades versus crabs. And then I could go... What lore is good here? So my magic would be way worse, going all Slaneshi, but we could take Acquiescence and Hysterical Frenzy. And yeah, that's probably enough to kill the crabs if you buff up the fiends and such. You pummel him with the Soul Grinder. What's not to love? We got the Soul Siphon for a little bit of healing. Blissful Rapture. And then otherwise, if you kind of go the same idea, I think you'll have the Longevity. Still have a lot of Plague Bearers. Unfortunately, I don't have that much money left, though. So I can take the Plague Bearers and like a Chromatic Aberration and a pink. Or I can just take a bunch of blues. It feels okay, I guess. Yeah, this is okay. The Furies also did really well. So Furies of Khorne, to just send them onto infantry. They're really good at tearing apart infantry, so I'll definitely be taking a lot more of those guys. Then you have Flesh Hounds to kill off his Moringulls cost efficiently. And then I believe you have basically more or less everything you could possibly want. Do I want bloodletters? Against the one depth guard, I think the fiends already kind of kill depth guards. Probably not. I just need like a little bit of army clear action. I think the Furies kind of do well enough. I could just take 2 blues for decent capture weight. I'd kind of rather have like mobility though. The Flamer of Tzeentch. The Flamer of Tzeentch is kind of calling to me. Or you know what, in a late game, in case of zombie spamming, I think Nurgling maxing is fine. Alright, I think this is good enough. I think this should cook fairly well. Let's go and spectate a finals, people. Not my day today, though. Definitely not my day. Yeah, crabs have immune to flanking, so they're pretty chunky. It's gonna be Mr. Adler against Chaos Dwarves. Oh boy. I can't even refund Demons of Chaos. Dude. Demons of Chaos, man. I think if they have... If you give them a cheap cavalry unit, I think... I don't know, man. If you gave Demons of Chaos Knights Errant, I think they would cook super hard. That armor check, though, was brutal. That's the second time I died to crabs as demons. Yeah, the map, or the matchup's kind of rough. I think the zombie bombers ended up getting a decent amount of value on me. Although I'm pretty sure Demons of Chaos have a high win rate against Coast. Let me double check. So maybe I just haven't figured anything out yet. Yeah, apparently against Vampire Coast, they have a 75% win rate, which means I'm the only one that lost to Coast. So I don't know. Although it's like hit or miss. Like sometimes they do super well, sometimes it's rough. I think with the right build though, as long as you have all the right tools, you're probably fine. The early fight was kind of even. The late game was a little sus. We'll figure it out next time. Seekers without riders. Just like feral cold ones, feral seekers. You know if immune to flanking affects devastating flanker? I have no idea, man. I've never tested it. Seems like fiends do pretty good damage to the crabs, however. I think the fiends are good enough versus crabs. They cost the same and they'll win their fight. The interesting thing that I didn't expect was for fiends to do badly versus Moringulls. I really thought they would crush the Moringulls, but they did not, man. So I think you really do need the Flesh Hounds. Get the Flesh Hounds, and then the match is basically over. So you just 1-to-1 Flesh Hound to Moringull, Fiend to Crab. Easiest fight of your entire life. Soul Grind of Corn with flaming attacks. It has terrible stats. It can't. It just can't. Also, Eastern Isle Colony, interesting. Very defensive map, but these are two very defensive factions. I would say it's slightly in the favor of Chaos Dwarves, though. All right, what are we looking at? That's a lot of artillery. On both sides. Oh, jeez. All right. So we're seeing them both take a lot of artillery. That's pretty crazy. This is a lot of artillery. I would say I'm not feeling... Yeah, I don't know, man. Who does this favor? So what? We got mortars. We got the carronades. There's not a lot to mortar down though, right? Okay, so there's 2 hobgoblin archers. They're gonna die. The death streaks absolutely will outtrade the carronades as long as you get in range. Technically, the carronade has plus 30 range, but these can line of sight them due to the map. Zombies in general will trade pretty well into the laborers though. Badly into the Chaos Dwarf warriors, however. These guys have 44 melee defense to a measly 17 melee attack. So we're talking more or less the lowest chance to hit possible. Almost anyways. They're going to be going down all the way to about 10%. A little higher than 10%. But most of the damage will likely come from them bombers. Or does he have any bombers? No bombers. All right. So a wee bit of advancing. We got a fleet admiral of pistols. Pistol fleet admiral. The lore of pistol. Actually, she actually does have the lore of pistol. Drowned Dead is quite good for that. And Vampire Coast are going to be pretty easily securing 2 points. Now, can they actually hold them against the Chaos Dwarves? Maybe. If the Chaos Dwarves are forced into a full advance, I don't think the artillery is going to do that much. Oh, okay. Well, actually, maybe they will. A sniping on the Lord is what we're seeing right now. Is that effective? Apparently not too much. These things are anti-large. If he does manage to kill the Lord, though, that'd definitely be good. But it seems like the fleet admiral is just gonna be scurrying away. In the meantime, the cannons have gone line of sight. Okay. On to the death streaks. 2 more volleys and this thing's probably routing. So he has 20 seconds to fix this issue. Now only like 15 seconds. Death streak is looking a little worse for wear. Little bit of a misplay on the Chaos Dwarf side. Not repositioning their artillery. Mr. Adler here doing a good job. As the mortars, they rain from the skies. Barely missing the Dwarf warriors. Cannonball misses. And it seems like they will just barely get to line of sight. The carronades. Scooting slowly though. They're doing their best. But you need DPS to kill Coast. At least traditional Coast. It looks like he's not actually going for a stuff him up playstyle. Looks to me like Mr. Adler is actually going for a little bit more of a passive play. Realizing that, yes, I have a lot of artillery. I want to get my value off of them. So he sits. Tanks some death streaks to the face. He laughs at the death streaks. The damage is minuscule. He doesn't care. But he does see an opportunity to capture the point. Gets a nice little morsel over here on the flank. Looking pretty good for Mr. Adler so far. Capture point getting secured. But not pushing in with the zombies. Very passive play from both players. Warren goes though. Night Terror is coming on in. They do have 30% missile resist. Helps them out a lot. Spell resist too, actually. Don't know where that comes from. But that means that they're going to be mostly chilling. Archer fire is still a little unpleasant. But they're doing alright. Sadistic Snare going to keep them in place for longer though. This is a 1200 gold unit. You don't really want to be losing it. Already 1/3 HP is down. A little sus for them. I guess it does get rid of the Sadistic Snare, and healing them up is definitely helping them out. But what's his plan after? Is it going to be a retreat? Is it going to be a rush? These archers are actually really exposed. But with the Fire Glaive summon on the backfield, looks like it is the better idea to pull away. Loses about 600 gold to a couple of archers. And he had to heal, so maybe even a bit more. I'd say that was quite unpleasant for Mr. Adler here. We're also seeing a little bit of a sneaky play too. Sneaky gets coming along the side flank. They got their eyes set on those artillery pieces. One of them already getting a volley off, but will we see a response? There is a unit of depth guard, and yes indeed, they move in to stop one of the sneaky gets, but there's two. Is it going to be a dog summon? It is. Will it be a counter charge? Lots of back and forth. This is a very risky play to go for. Killing the artillery is obviously a very high value. It costs, you know, 600 gold a pop. The sneaky gets are also 500 gold, so you don't want to lose them for nothing. And with the dogs charging in, oof, quarter HP down, brutal. Depth guard are mulching the sneaky gets over here. Artillery's firing. They don't get a lot of value, but they do reduce leadership. And they do force a fight. So it's definitely pretty rough for the Chaos Dwarves. A pick over here with the Haunter is pretty nice too. The only thing I'd be a little worried about is getting shot at, but it looks like he has that down pat. Night Terrors are just popping off over here on the far side. I don't think they'll do too well versus the Fireborn though. So if you look at the Fireborn, you look at the Night Terrors. Stat wise, Night Terrors have a lot more melee attack actually. Dang, dude, Night Terror is kind of hype. In this case though, just a little overextended. They'll probably die, right? Probably. They do have the hunger. That's 0.1 healing. They are on fire though, so it should be halved. But man, look at that tankiness. Night Terror is just holding on to the last. Pretty rough. Zetan holding the line, some campaign strats. So that magma cannon's getting some working. And most of the artillery pieces actually did go down. We did see 2 go down, and 1 artillery piece is getting low. Looks like he bought in a Sorcerer of Fire to Burning Head them. Another nice shot too, but Zetan's getting a little worse for wear. Now it's not the end of the world if Zetan dies. You take foot Zetan because he's cheap, so you can easily resummon him if need be. But it's not the most pleasant thing. However, if he can get some magma cannon shots here, it's not the end of the world. Like, Zetan definitely paid for himself by grinding there, getting the Lamprey's Revenge so low. So Chaos Dwarves really just have to capture everything else now. Now cannons are shooting at the Kadai. Somehow they shot past the trees and actually got a hit in, I believe. And each Kadai that goes down is very painful. They are extremely expensive. And they're really the only melee DPS the Chaos Dwarves have right now, aside from the train. Hobgoblins don't really do the best versus zombies. So we'll see if they hold up. Over yonder, it seems like Train's having a good time. Now that the Lamprey's Revenge are on the retreat, Kadai are moving forwards. Depth Guard feeling a little sussed out, seeing all this anti-infantry here. Will they commit? Looks like they will, all right. With the heal on the Lamprey's Revenge, they re-engage, only to get shot again by the artillery. Dang, the artillery here for the Dwarves is certainly doing a lot more damage. Magma Cannon's paid for itself. Death Streaker's on its way. And even the Fire Glaives are back. And I think the full force of the Chaos Dwarf firepower could potentially make things pretty sus. Depth Guard are grinding against Kadai, but these guys have more than enough melee attack to win. At least they should. Depth Guard getting mega debuffed. Enfeebling foe, alright. Not sure if it did that much. I think Kadai were mostly hitting zombies, unfortunately, but maybe got a little bit of damage here. But man, Vampire Coast stuffing up tactics. Very painful to deal with Vampire Coast. The Endless Tide commenceth. We got some zombies coming in. We got some dogs pushing. And they're still holding that triple cap. As good as Kadai are at trading up, like look at these guys. 122 kills. They've already mostly paid for themselves. They're happy. Kadai over here, 130 kills. The problem is that they only have 3 capture weight. And a zombie unit that costs 1/3 of the price, having 5 capture weight, is gonna mean that these guys are gonna get stalled forever. Unless some more support comes in, or some cheap units like these laborers for capture weight can flood the points, it's gonna be sus. First capture point slowly getting stolen though. It's pretty close. If I was the Chaos Dwarves, I'd be slightly worried. As I don't think they have that much capture weight. You can see it's quite slow over there. We're gonna need like another 10 seconds before that gets captured. The far point is a long ways away from getting capped, and the Haunters are back. The absolute menace, the Night Terrors. And all they really have moving on to the point is Zetan. Now, he's going to help with the leadership. The trading is going to be nice, but I don't really see the undead getting army wiped anytime soon. But there is a good amount of time. A little bit of voice crack, but anyways, there's a little bit of time. At the current rate that they are acquiring tickets, the Dwarves have 3 minutes. That's actually not that much, is it? I guess they have about 4 minutes. That's okay. But like, it takes 1 minute to get to the point, another minute to fight for the point, even if you're at an advantage. And then you have to do it again for the last point. I don't know, man. There's a lot of units. What we may see, though, is maybe a steal over here. And I think that's what he's going for. So these zombies will take a while to get to this point. They're rather far, sprinting at max speed, doing their best. If the Chaos Dwarves can somehow secure this point within the next minute or so, they might have a chance. They might. And they're going to have 7 capture rate moving on. So that's going to be about like 16 seconds to capture the point. That means they probably get it before the deckhands show up. That's a good sign. If he brings in the Kadai, he's definitely going to capture it in time. Pretty solid burning head too on a very expensive halberd unit. Almost 400 gold. It's like a 300 gold burning head right there. Not the worst, but he's got to go pedal to the metal. Depth Guard are killing his magma cannons, and no D-summon there to save it. Fellbats have committed, but maybe there's a play here. Look at that Lord. She's very low. Overcast doing her dirty. Pistol mobs. Pretty huge volley. But the Fellbats are gone. Meanwhile, on the far point, it looks like our prediction was correct. Before the zombies arrived, it looks like there will be just enough capture weight. Oh, dang, no, but the Night Terrors? Night Terror showed up. It's only one laborer that's coming to the point. That means very likely he'll lose capture weight, but what? He stopped moving. All right, so he stops moving. He doesn't want to get on the point. Distracted by the fight over here. This could be a massive misplay for Coast. Moves his Lord, remembers his infantry. And okay, he does stall the point. Huge play for the Coast. Barely holding it with the Night Terrors. Gets in the Morin goals. Gets in more units, and it looks like that's probably going to be it for the Chaos Dwarves. Probably. I don't think they're going to win. Even if they do capture the point, the Morin goals are just going to be a little too spicy. Kadai are out of the battlefield now. And the tickets are just getting a little bit too close, right? He can put all his units on the points right now. But if the Vampire Coast can fight back even one of them, it's going to be a loss. Another good burning head, though. But it shan't be enough. His units, they pile on. But that is not a lot of capture weight. And man, look at them pistol mobs gunning down the hobgoblins. Meanwhile, on the far side, looking a little sus. Nah, not at all. Everything's ready. I'm just saying default words. Nah, this is over, man. Unless, okay, wait, actually, look at this. So Chaos Dwarves did actually secure this point. So they have 3 minutes. They have 3 minutes to get onto this point. If it takes them 1 minute to go here and 2 minutes to fight for the point, maybe. I didn't expect the Chaos Dwarves to win this so fast. I thought it was totally over. But maybe 1 minute and 100 seconds left. There's no way though, right? Against the Night Terrors and Morincols. There's no way. Yeah, this map is really good once you just have to hunker down on one point. It's very easy to take this point, maybe steal this one with some Houndos. How much are we seeing here? This is about 5, maybe 8 capture weight, 11. We're gonna see like 14. Maybe another. You see like maybe 20 capture weight. That's 4 units of zombies. He could kill the zombies in time though. And 2 of them aren't even on the point yet. But he's also not on the point himself. Now with all these units, maybe he gets on it. I just don't really see anything that can kill the Moringols. Moringols are being a complete menace today, aren't they? Look at them. charging on in. They routed off the hobgoblins. Hobgoblins coming in onto the flank. Oh, he still has magic for a burning head. Okay. Back pocket burning head drops. If there's something that was gonna win it, it's that. Deletes a whole lot of zombies right off the bat. But he still doesn't have capture weight. Only barely swinging in his favor now. But a dog is coming onto the battlefield. Technically, if he could teleport all his units on the capture point, there'd be a chance. Has an iron demon in the distance. It's not gonna make it in time though. And okay, yeah, it's just a bad trade. It's just a bad trade. When you're forced to YOLO onto the point, it's not going to be a controlled push. And everything is routing now. Status quo is maintained. Vampire Coast take the win. Pretty spooky faction. They won 2 pretty bad matchups today. So Mr. Adler actually kind of crushing it, beating the Demons of Chaos and the Chaos Dwarves. Apparently, according to the stats, those are very bad matchups for Vampire Coast. Exciting to see them do well. Certainly very exciting. Look at those doggos. So they're making a run for it. They're going to distract a little bit more. And there's nothing left. Nothing but Train and Zetan and the second train. Pretty cool to see. Usually don't see Vampire Coast crushing it that hard. Obviously they are a high tier faction, but there's always a chance to get knocked out by like a random Wood Elf player. It's cool to see. Well played. Congrats, Mr. Adler. Pretty solid win, Mr. Adler. Congrats on the VP win. On 2 bad matchups for them too. Congratulations. Now, did the mortars do anything? Okay, the mortars did not cook. The mortars absolutely did not cook. They were Chevron 2, but I guess they baited out some units forward. That means he basically won 2,000 gold down. That's kind of crazy. The mortars really didn't cook. The death streaks also did not do especially well though. It was a death streak and a magma cannon, I see. But they still got decent value. Mortars just weren't hitting anything, man. But he pulled it back. Probably with the Morangles. Okay, I don't even know what paid for itself. I don't know what was paying for themselves. I guess maybe the dogs. Maybe it was the dog micro. Seems like they did pretty well. On multiple resummons, but still a lot of value. Maybe the dog value and the pistol mobs. Yeah, there they go. Oh my god, pistol mobs cooked. Dude, they cooked so hard. Look at that. Dang, unknown. That's very pessimistic. Honestly, it's cool to see. Especially when the matchup is supposed to be Chaos Dwarf favored. Even though the pacing might have been a little slow. But GG, I'm gonna call it for a day. I need some rest. I gotta get some sleep. Maybe do some editing. Tomorrow though, we got another tournament. So if you want to play in that, you can sign up on TotalTavern.com. And of course, thank you to our supporters. I gotta update the list. I'm gonna be doing that. Checking everyone on Patreon, adding them to the list later. But Caculandia, Steven Samorden, Charlie Benjo, Noble Naldor, Clint, Terry Tarkleby, Pops, and Miss New Booty. Thank you very much for your wondrous support. And I'll see the rest of you guys tomorrow. It was autocorrect? Oh my gosh. You meant to say it was an interesting match? Oof. Oh well, you know. Redeem thyself. Have a wonderful day, people.